Welcome to Section 31, episode number 242. I'm Dan Hammond.
And I'm Rogue Schindler.
This week, we were in different parts of the country. Neither of us could get to our local event, so I'm going to go over the results of that because I don't know if you looked at the boards, but I'm going to need to talk to somebody locally and see what happened because, wow. And then we're going to get into your trip, the reason you weren't around. You were back at DragonCon, and we'll get a report on that. So. Can I tell you that? Okay, here's the spread for this Saturday's tournament last week. All right. Let's see. We got Nate and Johnny and TK and TV and Matt Kirk and Charlie and JD.
Holy crap!
It was a good showing. Got seven people.
Was this a regional?
Yeah. It looked like
Did I miss something?
GUI constructed, and it looks like Matt just played for a round and then dropped, but. JD won. He beat Nate in the first round, TK in the second round, tied with Johnny, and then beat TV.
Damn!
That's quite a gauntlet to run, don't you think?
It is. That is the gauntlet. That's the San Diego gauntlet.
Yeah, that's astounding. So congratulations to
crap.
JD. I'm looking forward to. Well, I can open up your deck list right now. He's playing Cardassian. His deck title was called Only on Account of Lucas. I'm not sure if that's a Star Wars reference or something else.
Well, some people think Lucas is villainy now.
Yeah. Nate was running Borg, quintessentially less Borg. Johnny was running Cardassian's big fat Cardassian deck. TK looked like he was playing something different. TNG and DS9. I don't know that I've ever seen TK play a multi-headquarters deck. TV was Bajoran. Charlie was running a deck called Strange Bedfellows, the Magic School Bus, which looked like Tarek Noor and Starfleet. But yeah, congratulations to JD. I'm sorry to say I'm shocked. That's awesome. Well played. First place.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, it looks like a nice 45 card draw deck. Very tight dilemma pile. 27 cards. Comfort Women, Central Command, and a bunch of Cardassians, a couple non-aligned guys.
They're really good.
Yeah. Does not look like it's the. Does not look like it looks like it's a ship build. He only had 4 ships, a couple of Galores, and the Prakash, but neat. Congratulations,
cool.
JD. I'm looking forward to talking to you about it next time we meet.
Excellent.
Yeah, it looks like Nate came in second, as I said, with the Borg, and Johnny came in third with Cardassian. Looks like there was a logjam at second place between Nate, Johnny, and TK, all with 10 victory points, and strength of schedule separated the three of them by about 2 points, 2 or 3 points apiece. So, wow. Well done, JD. Congratulations on that. Again, we'll be talking about that deck at some point. There was a quick triples round. It looks like they played TK avenged himself and got 500,000 points. There's no deck list posted here, but I'm going to have to say it was probably poisoned.
What are you saying? Are you
Well,
saying that TK is predictably poisonous with his dribbles?
He played a 2 headquarters deck, so I have no idea what he played for triples. But
That's an excellent point.
But Johnny came in second with 300,000, Charlie with 200,000, Nate with 200,000, JD with 161,000, and Matt with 111,000. So it looks like Matt played in the first round and then hung out for triples. That's nice.
Very cool.
But yeah, I'm sorry I missed out. I would have been the 8th player, but it was a long day the previous day, and it was not something I could make. So excellent. We got 7 people for a local random event after Worlds in the quote unquote off season. I know we've got league events starting up soon, so hopefully we can carry this through the rest of the year.
Indeed, yeah, excellent showing for right after big Gen Con event.
And I think we just had an email vote go out a little while back about what we were going to play this week, and right now I saw two votes for 1E OTF constructed, so that'll probably be a week from Saturday, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, a week from Saturday. Voting between OTF and the 2E draft.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna be on the road again. I'm gonna miss out, so you'll have to give me a full report.
Okay, I may also be on the road, so we'll see what happens. We may
Good
have to
point.
have a remote correspondent.
Very good. All right. Well, speaking of road, you just came back from a. Did you fly in today?
I did. And boy, my yeah no. Uh,
Is the holiday your usual travel day back, or are you back earlier than
my
normal?
my Sky Bison flew in today, and yeah, no. I usually stay until Thursday. We both usually stay until Tuesday rather, just because it's so much better to just relax, not have to deal with everybody else checking out, and the elevator situation with luggage and things is terrible. But Caitlin had to come back. She's had to be back at work on Tuesday. She couldn't take that day off this year. A lot of the friends we know that we usually hang out with Monday night and then Tuesday morning were not staying this year, so went ahead and changed my plans to come back sooner, and that meant I could be here and report on it a week early, since that usually means I miss a show. So yeah, we just landed maybe 2 hours ago.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, the questions I usually ask you are, how many different costumes did you bring?
Bring versus worn.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember. I want to say I took like 9. It was actually kind of light this year, just because I was sick for literally the week leading up to uh, the right up until the day before we left. I was sick for about a week. Pretty much coming from Gen Con. We got back from Gen Con and got hit with the Hong Kong crud, and it just kept getting worse, and then it turned into a sinus infection. So I did not really get to finish anything major and new. In fact, it was actually a big stress ball just to finish the updates to things I was making. But we did do that, and we got to. I think I wore 4 costumes in one day. That was the record, basically because of various commitments. Shut up! Sorry, my cat is very loud.
It's all right. My kid's gonna start screaming in the background.
But yes, I did take many costumes, and I wore almost all of them. We had a couple of replays and a couple of new things. My favorite new, well, I had a couple of new. So folks who came to Gen Con know that I were surprised by seeing my shaved pate for a costume,
Is this your
which was
Destro costume you're working on?
yes, no, I pour molten metal over my head for the day, so that it looks realistic. No, we did the gamers costume, monk costume. I did the monk costume. We had a whole group of from the gamers movie that we've talked about on the show. But since I had a shaved head, I went ahead and did Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender, which turned out to be go really well. We had a big photo shoot with about 30 people, all in different Avatar costumes, and I was the only Aang, so it was a good thing I did that. So we actually had an Avatar. Um, and I was really pleased with how that turned out, considering I just adapted that from another costume.
Mhm.
But the surprise upset for most popular costume in our new stable was so I'm sure you've seen our indie costumes, Indiana Jones. My father-in-law does Henry Jones, and he has actually started branching out and doing other Sean Connery costumes over the years. Yeah, you know what's coming. And I've been wanting to do Celebrity Jeopardy for a long time, and I finally remembered a couple of months ago that I want to do it and to mention it in time to get it ready. So we put together some PVC frames and covered them with little felt sleeves as podiums and hung little Jeopardy signs on them. And he is Sean Connery, and I put on a wig and a mustache and was Alex Trebek. My wife pulled out a bunch of random fabric and draped it over herself and had a hilarious accent to be Bjork. And we're trying to figure out who to have as the third contestant, who we could get from our friends to join us reliably, just, because of schedules are so hectic. And then at some point I realized we'll just leave it open. So we used the nameplates on the front we made as whiteboards. So we had Sean and Bjork and your name here, and we just let other people in costume come up and take pictures with us so they could be, thank you for joining us on Celebrity Jeopardy.
Awesome.
And it was fantastic. We had a great time, and when we were trying to figure out what day to do it, I had another inspiration, which I was even more proud of, which was we took it to the Walk of Fame, which is the room where all the celebrities go when they're not on panels and sign autographs, and just wandered around giving them the opportunity to, we can't take pictures of them without permission or paying, but if they want to come take pictures with us, that's entirely up to them.
That's funny.
And we got some really great reactions. Some great people who came and took pictures with us. Not always did we also get to get pictures, but we can go and look up their pictures online somewhere. We got several members of the guild were there, and they all came and took pictures. Like all three members of the Land of the Lost cast that were there, they thought that was the best thing ever. They came out and took all three podiums at the same time, so they could all do it together. Garrett Wong was there, and he pointed and laughed at us from across the room, and I was like, "Come over," and he can't. I'm really busy. I wish I could. But so that was cool. And in general, we got a bunch of people in costume, various costumes, writing their costume names or actors of their costumes, and then.
Excellent. You probably made a lot of. As many times as you run up and take pictures of someone else, everyone is probably just dying to have their picture taken with you.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot. We get a lot of, like with the indie group and with other groups, some people take pictures and some people want to be in the picture. So we're like, well, this, leaves it open, and they can jump in and actually, instead of looking at a place, they're actually part of the show. So that went over remarkably well, so much so that we did it again today, and we'll probably bring that back. I thought it would be like a throwaway gig just for fun, but it was a huge success. So I think I kind of want to go back and just actually stand in line for certain. There's a handful of celebrities I would actually pay to get the pictures with if they would be willing to come out and pose at the podium, which would be pretty funny.
That would be awesome. Any so trying to bring it back to the theme of the podcast. Any Star Trek things this week?
I was actually anticipating that. Speaking of Star Trek and photo ops, the other highlight of my weekend was getting to do this,
Wow.
which I know a lot of our listeners, our viewers are friends with us on Facebook, and I posted this earlier, so you've probably seen it. But I dressed up as Carl Urban. And got to take a picture of him, and he was very obliging of my request. He was like, "Hey, can we do some crazy eyes?" And he went, "Oh yeah." So you can get a better look at that on Facebook. I was very sad. I was so excited about picking it up and looking at it and ogling over it the day after we got it taken, that I forgot to go down and get him to sign it the next day. Which is what I really wanted to do, because I wanted to commiserate with him on how much fun it was to do it. And it's like, I'm so glad you were able to do that. Thanks for rolling with it, and you're awesome. And so we'll have to do that another year or at another con. But that was a huge hit, or a big highlight. He saw me coming up the line and did a double take and then smirked, and he was a super cool guy. His panel was really great. He's probably he said that him and Simon Pegg are probably the two biggest Trek fans on the reboot cast, and he's not just like, oh yeah, I watched Star Trek when I was a kid, but he's like, he watched stuff through Voyager, and he was like quoting like episode titles, and he's one of us.
Cool. That's good to hear. Usually you walk up to someone and they're, meh, next person,
Yeah.
Or,
no. He was super cool.
And accent you don't expect,
He did have an accent I didn't expect, which I forgot, because he's been between McCoy and Almost Human, yeah, he's had that just American generic accent, but he's a Kiwi, so he's got a bit of a twang, and it was really
Did
cool to listen to him.
Was he speaking with an accent when he was in Lord of the Rings? I don't remember.
Yeah, they all had that kind of generic. Rohan had kind of a generic quasi-English accent, uh, but uh, not any particular accent, but sort of a
Hmm.
nondescript, like Deanna Troy. Like I can't place that, but that's definitely a unique accent.
Right on. All right. So walking around in excellent costumes. Carl Urban.
There were yeah, we had a Star Trek gathering. There was definitely tournaments happening. I actually packed decks because I felt like because I was like I failed so utterly in performing in getting my costumes together. I might have time to play, but the one time I was planning on playing was going to be today for Tribbles in the afternoon, and then my flight changed, so I wasn't able to make it. But I hear that Kevin ran the table at Tribbles both tournaments and approached 1 million at both times and took both of those. And there were 2E and 1E tournaments as well as Tribbles, so I was pleased to see that everything represented. The last a few years ago, it was just 2E, so I was glad to see that now there's 1E, and then this year there's actually Tribbles.
Nice.
So that was cool. I also got had a very popular response to my Philly Inception costume, which I was just going to wear Captain Mal, but I wore my Captain Hammer shirt underneath it and pulled it open, and then my hammer gloves, and then I had my rider patch across the back of my shirt, or back of my brown coat. So it was 3 Nathan Fillion characters in one, and several people I was like, oh, I'll go post this to Nathan Fillion's Twitter and see if he likes it, and turned out like several people had already taken pictures of me and posted it to him. I was like, all right, cool, that's cool.
Nice.
So
Right on,
yeah.
man. It sounds like it was an excellent time. Are you there long enough to get uh, jet lagged?
The sleep is already so scarce that there's really not a time lag. It's just a constant state of increased exhaustion. But you're having so much fun and drinking so much caffeine the whole time that it's like, all right, let's keep going. But that's also another advantage of we always go early. I flew in on Wednesday and the con starts on Friday. So that gives you a day to finish costumes and check in and get adjusted and kind of be ready when the con starts on Friday.
I felt similarly going in the day early. I was thinking about going in the previous day, but we got there early on Wednesday for Gen Con. I think Charlie was there on Tuesday to get things set up. It's just so nice to have, not be flying in late and then having that first tournament at 9 a.m. or yeah.
Feeling
All right.
exhausted, or having to worry about getting your stuff checked in before going to the con when you want to just go and like start gaming.
Is this your last con of the season then? Is it the end of
Yeah,
summer?
it's definitely the end of travel cons. We might go to something in driving distance. There's a couple in LA in the fall, but I'm done flying to cons for the season.
All right. I know we've got, as I said, we've got a 1A tournament coming up in a week and a half, or a week from Saturday. I guess that's 2 weeks.
Yep.
And we've got a big event coming up at the beginning of the year with our Phoenix tournament. So things are afoot. We'll have a league starting up soon, and looks like spoilers are already coming down for the next 2E set, Balance of Terror. I put in a request for a league for a release kit, so we'll have one of those, and that's what's going on down here. Have you seen any? Have you been at the site at all to see any of the cards?
Nope.
Okay. Then next week we'll have a discussion about what's been spoiled so far. We'll see if we can get a spoiler from our contacts within the system about what we could talk about as far as 2E balanced terror, and we'll go from there. Sound like a plan?
Excellent. I like this plan. I'm proud to be a part of it.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to fall over because now I am getting the jet lag. It's 3 hours later for me, and I'm exhausted from con. So I'm going to go expand my sleepiness in the universe. I am Sir Rogue.
And I'm Sir Dan.
And I'm going to fall over.
And I will draw to end.